Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Bible in a Year. My name is Natalie, and today we are on day 116. I am so happy that you're here today, and I hope your day is going great. We are going to be reading out of Numbers chapter 3, Isaiah chapter 2, Romans chapter 14, verses 1 through 11, and then we'll close out the day with Psalm 77, verses 1 through 3. So let's get started. I just looked into the camera and it looks like I might have overdone it on my makeup. I don't wear makeup. I wear a little lipstick. That's it. I actually just came in from work. I work in landscaping. So there you have it. Okay, here we go. Numbers chapter 3. Now this is the history of the generations of Aaron and Moses in the day that Yahweh spoke with Moses in Mount Sinai. These are the names of the sons of Aaron: Nadab, the firstborn, and Abihu, Eleazar, and Ithamar. These are the names of the sons of Aaron, the priests who were anointed, whom he consecrated to minister in the priest's office. Nadab and Abihu died before Yahweh when they offered strange fire before Yahweh in the wilderness of Sinai, and they had no children. Eleazar and Ithamar ministered in the priest's office in the presence of Aaron their father. Yahweh spoke to Moses, saying, "Bring the tribe of Levi near, and set them before Aaron the priest, that they may minister to him. They shall keep his requirements and the requirements of the whole congregation before the tent of meeting, to do the service of the tabernacle. They shall keep all the furnishings of the tent of meeting and the obligations of the children of Israel to do the service of the tabernacle. You shall give the Levites to Aaron and to his sons. They are wholly given to him on the behalf of the children of Israel. You shall appoint Aaron and his sons, and they shall keep their priesthood, but the stranger who comes near shall be put to death." Yahweh spoke to Moses, saying, "Behold, I have taken the Levites from among the children of Israel instead of all the firstborn who opened the womb among the children of Israel, and the Levites shall be mine, for all the firstborn are mine. On the day that I struck down all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, I made holy to me all the firstborn in Israel, both man and animal. They shall be mine. I am Yahweh." Yahweh spoke to Moses in the wilderness of Sinai, saying, "Count the children of Levi by your fathers' houses, by their families. You shall count every male from a month old and upward." Moses counted them according to Yahweh's word, as he commanded. These were the sons of Levi by their names: Gershon, Kohath, and Merari. These are the names of the sons of Gershon by their families: Libni and Shimei. The sons of Kohath by their families: Amram, Izhar, Hebron, and Uzziel. The sons of Merari by their families: Malai and Mushai. These are the families of the Levites according to their fathers' houses. Of Gershon was the family of the Libnites and the family of the Shimeites. These are the families of the Gershonites. Those who were counted of them according to the number of all the males from a month old and upward, even those who were counted of them, were 7,500. The families of the Gershonites shall encamp behind the tabernacle westward. Eliasaph, the son of Lael, shall be the prince of the father's house of the Gershonites. The duty of the sons of Gershon in the tent of meeting shall be the tabernacle, the tent, its covering, the screen for the door of the tent of meeting, the hangings of the court, the screen for the door of the court, which is by the tabernacle and around the altar, and its cords for all of its service. Of Kohath was the family of the Amramites, the family of the Izharites, the family of the Hebronites, and the family of the Uzzielites. These are the families of the Kohathites. According to the number of all the males from a month old and upward, there were 8,600, keeping the requirements of the sanctuary. The families of the sons of Kohath shall encamp on the south side of the tabernacle. The prince of the father's house of the families of the Kohathites shall be Elizaphan, the son of Uzziel. Their duty shall be the ark, the table, the lampstand, the altars, the vessels of the sanctuary with which they minister, the screen, and all of its service. Eleazar, the son of Aaron, the priest, shall be prince of the princes of the Levites, with the oversight of those who keep the requirements of the sanctuary. Of Merari was the family of the Mahalites and the family of the Mushites. These are the families of Merari. Those who were counted of them, according to the number of all the males from a month old and upward, were 6,200. The prince of the father's house of the families of Merari was Zuriel, the son of Abihail. They shall encamp on the north side of the tabernacle. The appointed duty of the sons of Merari shall be the tabernacle's boards, its bars, its pillars, its sockets, all its instruments, all its service, the pillars of the court around it, their sockets, their pins, and their cords. Those who encamp before the tabernacle eastward in front of the tent meeting toward the sunrise shall be Moses, with Aaron and his sons, keeping the requirements of the sanctuary for the duty of the children of Israel. The outsider who comes near shall be put to death. All who were counted of the Levites, whom Moses and Aaron counted at the commandment of Yahweh by their families, all males from a month old and upward, were 22,000. Yahweh said to Moses, "Count all the firstborn males of the children of Israel from a month old and upward, and take the number of their names. You shall take the Levites for me. I am Yahweh. Instead of all the firstborn among the children of Israel, and the livestock of the Levites, instead of all the firstborn among the livestock of the children of Israel." Moses counted, as Yahweh commanded him, all the firstborn among the children of Israel. All the firstborn males, according to the number of the names from a month old and upward, of those who were counted of them, were 22,273. Yahweh spoke to Moses, saying, "Take the Levites instead of all the firstborn among the children of Israel, and the livestock of the Levites instead of their livestock, and the Levites shall be mine. I am Yahweh. For the redemption of the 273 of the firstborn of the children of Israel who exceed the number of the Levites, you shall take 5 shekels apiece for each one, according to the shekel of the sanctuary you shall take them. The shekel is 20 gerahs, and you shall give the money with which their remainder is redeemed to Aaron and his sons." Moses took the redemption money from those who exceeded the number of those who were redeemed by the Levites. From the firstborn of the children of Israel he took the money, 1,365 shekels, according to the shekel of the sanctuary. And Moses gave the redemption money to Aaron and his sons, according to Yahweh's word, as Yahweh commanded Moses. So everyone has their jobs to do. All right, Isaiah chapter 2. Excuse me and thank you. All right. All right, here we go. This is what Isaiah, the son of Amoz, saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem. It shall happen in the later days that the mountain of Yahweh's house shall be established on the top of the mountains and shall be raised above the hills, and all nations shall flow to it. Many peoples shall go and say, Come, let's go up to the mountain of Yahweh, to the house of God of Jacob, and he will teach us his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For the law shall go out of Zion, and Yahweh's word from Jerusalem. He will judge between nations, and will decide concerning many peoples. They shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they lean war any more. House of Jacob, come, and let's walk in the light of Yahweh. For you have forsaken your people, the house of Jacob, because they are filled from the east with those who practice divination like the Philistines, and they clasp hands with the children of foreigners. Their land is full of silver and gold, neither is there any end of their treasures. Their land also is full of horses, neither is there any end of their chariots. Their land also is full of idols. They worship the work of their own hands, that which their own fingers have made. Man is brought low, and mankind is humbled. Therefore, don't forgive them. Enter into the rock and hide in the dust from before the terror of Yahweh and from the glory of his majesty. The lofty looks of man will be brought low. The arrogance of men will be bowed down, and Yahweh alone will be exalted in that day. For there will be a day of Yahweh of armies for all that is proud and arrogant, and for all that is lifted up, and it shall be brought low, for all the cedars of Lebanon that are high and lifted up, for all the oaks of Bashan, for all the high mountains, for all the hills that are lifted up, for every lofty tower, for every fortified wall, for all the ships of Tarshish, and for all pleasant imagery. The loftiness of man shall be bowed down, and the arrogance of men shall be brought low, and Yahweh alone shall be exalted in that day. The idols shall utterly pass away. Men shall go into the caves of the rocks and into the holes of the earth from before the terror of Yahweh and from the glory of his majesty when he arises to shake the earth mightily. In that day men shall cast away their idols of silver and their idols of gold, which have been made for themselves to worship, to the moles and to the bats, to go into the caverns of the rocks and into the clefts of the ragged rocks from before the terror of Yahweh and from the glory of his majesty when he arises to shake the earth mightily. Stop trusting in man, whose breath is in his nostrils, for of what account is he? I'm going to read that one more time. Verse 22. Stop trusting in man, whose breath is in his nostrils, for what account is he? All right, moving into Romans chapter 14, verses 1 through 11. Now accept one who is weak in faith, but not for disputes over opinions. One man has faith to eat all things, but he who is weak eats only vegetables. Don't let him who eats despise him who doesn't eat. Don't let him who doesn't judge him who eats, for God has accepted him. Who are you who judge another's servants? To his own Lord he stands or falls. Yes, he will be made to stand, for God has power to make him stand. One man esteems one day as more important. Another esteems every day alike. Let each man be fully assured in his own mind. He who observes the day observes it to the Lord, and he who does not observe the day, to the Lord he does not observe it. He who eats, eats to the Lord, for he gives God thanks. He who doesn't eat, to the Lord he doesn't eat, and gives God thanks. For none of us lives to himself, and none dies to himself. For if we live to the Lord, or if we die to the Lord. If therefore we live or die, we are the Lord's. For to this end Christ died, rose, and lived again, that he might be Lord of both the dead and the living. But you, why do you judge your brother? Or you again, why do you despise your brother? For we will all stand before the judgment seat of Christ. For it is written, as I live, says the Lord, to me every knee will bow, every tongue will confess to God. And there it is. Psalm 77, 1 through 3. This is for the chief musician, to Jeduthun, a psalm by Asaph. My cry goes to God. Indeed, I cry to God for help and for him to listen to me. In the day of my trouble, I sought the Lord. My hand was stretched out in the night and didn't get tired. My soul refused to be comforted. I remember God and I groan. I complain and my spirit is overwhelmed. Yeah, for sure. But forgive me, I need to go back to Romans, because quite honestly, I have been trying to record all day long, and I was just about ready to give up today, and I went and sat and had a moment of anger and frustration and prayed, and I was like, why are you stopping me today? And I was very curious what it was about today that is not meant to be heard. What was it about today's reading that should not be heard? I think it might be this. For it is written, as I live, says the Lord, to me every knee will bow, every tongue will confess to God. And it will happen. It will happen. So, for those who are falling on this channel and just kind of curious about, what is in the Bible and what we have to say, what I will say is that I believe the current church, I should say many of the current churches, might have it wrong. They might have fallen back into Old Testament law, which I am not judging. I will not have all the answers until I myself stand before God. When my day is done and the Lord takes me, I'll be standing in front of him, and he very well may say, Natalie, you had it wrong. But in my heart, In my heart, I know that I know that he is the new covenant. What a terrible, torturous death he had to go through. And before he went through all that, he lived as a man with the same temptations that we have, with the same discouragements that we have, with the same struggles that we have. He went through it all. He absolutely knows what we as humans go through. And he went to the cross. And he gave up his life for us to be covered in forgiveness and agape love, the only kind of love that God can give to his children. And that day will come when we stand before God. And if you have fallen upon this channel, I encourage you to stay and keep listening. If today wasn't enough, keep on coming back, because you will hear truth. And what the world has to offer is not necessarily the truth. So, with that, have the most magnificent day today. It is just about 6 o'clock tonight, and so my day is already ending. I'm going to go plop on the couch, put my feet up, and say, whew, we got the recording out. Have a great day, everybody. Come on back for day 117 tomorrow, and I will see you then. Bye.